Welcome to the broadcast. Today we have for you a member of the 1996 U.S. Women's Olympic Field Hockey team, Laurel Martin. Join us inside the circle, and that's next. Laurel Martin was a three-time All-American from the University of North Carolina who played on the 1996 Olympic team. I'm pleased to have her at the table with me. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is an interesting year. There is an Olympics coming up in London. We have what could be a very strong team, a team that defeated the world number one in October of 2011. How do you think they're going to do?
I'm excited to see what this team does. I mean, this team has a lot of strength with a lot of returning players that are phenomenal. Amy coming back into the goal, the history behind her strengths as a goalie. Of course, you've got Rachel Dawson, who's a phenomenal player and has an incredible amount of caps behind her. And then you've got the newbies coming on board. You know, you've got the young buckets, if you will, that are going to come on, that have got speed and that newness can just add a vibrancy. So I'm excited to see what we can do. Certainly, people aren't expecting much in the world of field hockey, but that doesn't mean anything. And I think if we, I think we've got a good shot at it. Absolutely.
Back in your day, sometimes the most advanced concepts were taught at A camp. Nowadays, they're taught to the young kids, and you have 14-year-olds playing tests at national tournaments. Do you think that's part of the reason why we're improving?
I think that's huge. I think that surface is huge, and surface is good in many ways for us right now, but bad in other ways with the whole carpet versus field turf. But certainly, the younger we can get the kids playing and on the better surface and teaching them the elite skills is always going to benefit the U.S. field hockey.
A lot of attention is going to be turned towards Kelly Smith this coming Olympic cycle. Mm-hmm. She's a mother of two, and there's going to be some human interest stories on NBC and elsewhere, but she wasn't the first hockey mom. As a matter of fact, there was a hockey mom on the 1996 Olympic team that some people, there wasn't as heralded, a certain person named Laurel Martin. Tell me about your experiences with the team carrying the child to term and what happened afterwards.
Yeah, that was quite an adventure, and you know, it all started with the recognition that my late husband and I were pregnant at that point stage, and then the realization that the due date was in mid-January of '96, and the actual trials for the Olympic team was in March. So that gave me a very small window to train. So knowing that the Olympics was always my dream, I trained with the national squad for 6 months. I was pregnant, and up until my 6 months, I was able to train with the national team. At that point stage, the doctor said to me that if I was hit, that it would be potentially damaging to the newborn. So then for 3 months, I was just training on my own every single day, just training on my own. And then the birth, and then one day after giving birth, I was out running again, and that was actually very scary. So it was a long process.
Now, of course, this is done, this being an era of women's athletics where it's been pushed to the fore to the point now that there are more women than men on the United States Olympic team now, coming up. Mm-hmm. It's been done so many times, such as with Carla Overbeck and Cheryl Swoops, and Carrie Walsh and Misty May actually decided to start families the same year so that they could come back together eventually for this upcoming Olympics. Field hockey, it's been much rarer. What do you think accounts for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, every sport has its different scheduling and the training and the traveling. And I can't speak for the other sports, but with field hockey, or at least when I was a part of the national squad, we were constantly traveling. You'd be home for 1 month, and then you'd be traveling to Argentina for a month. Be back home for another month. And when you were home, we were practicing 3 practices a day. So very little time to actually spend anything, any of your extracurricular activities besides field hockey, because you would just be training and preparing year-round. Mm-hmm. So that does not lead to a family sort of lifestyle. And now I believe it's much more, a little bit more flexible, whereas there's more opportunities for people to fulfill family life and careers. Back when I was training, that was not the case.
Do you believe you may have knocked it out of the door a bit for Kelly Smith to be able to do what she's done, or do you think it might have been also a little bit more of what the soccer team did with their culture and bringing in, paying for extra help for Carla Overbeck and Shannon McMillan and Kate Markgraf and others to have their children on the road with them?
I mean, I would love to take some kudos for what's going on with Kelly Smith, but I honestly don't think that my experience impacted it. Because we're not a high-profile sport. Very little people knew about it. There were some promotions during the '96 Olympics that was exciting for me, and I think for U.S. field hockey. But no, I think soccer and other sports that have got more of a high profile and the availability that were given to those mothers definitely impacted Kelly more so than maybe me. Yep.
So Laurel, you have in front of you a plaque from the 1996 Olympic Games with your picture on it. Would you, show it for the audience at home? What was your most vibrant, most interesting moment in Atlanta, either on or off the field?
I mean, the one that everyone would reflect on, and that I think is the most exhilarating, was just walking into the opening ceremonies. What people don't understand is that as the athletes, we're sort of sitting behind a stadium, and we are all smuggled together. It was excruciatingly hot, and we have a competition the next day. So you're hydrating, and you're trying to stay relaxed. You're sitting, you're trying to stay on your legs. And then being the host country and walking into the stadium, and then just the roar of the crowd was just, that's something, because you work so hard. And for me too, having a baby and knowing that she's out there in the stands, Callie was being out there in the stands, watching this was something else too.
What was the roar when Mr. Ali stepped from behind the stage?
just seeing him, and like you as an athlete, he was always on TV, and you hear so much about him, and the motivation that he's there in person. And I mean, I was only like 10 yards away from him, and just looking and seeing him in person was really a neat thing as well.
And in the Olympic Village and other people around, did you meet somebody who eventually became a celebrity athlete, or did you interact with the soccer team? Did you meet anybody from other teams that you found memorable?
Well, this is a little bit off of the beaten track here, but met the group Hootie and the Blowfish, then, with Darius and all of that. But when at the Olympic Village they did a free concert, so a couple of the field hockey girls and I wandered off and were dancing in the front, enjoying their music, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, we're invited backstage to meet the band. And that was cool, So, but of course you're meeting all the different athletes, and big name athletes, small name athletes. It's an incredible environment just to be surrounded by fellow athletes and just watching everything develop in front of you is amazing. Yep.
When you look at the 1996 team and what they're doing today, an extraordinary number of them are coaches somewhere along the line. Let's show the list right here. You look at somebody like Patty Shea, who was at one time the coach of Massachusetts, Liz Chu, who coached at Rutgers, Barbara Royce, who's coaching at a high school. Katie Kaufman is coaching for a youth club in Chicago, etc., etc. A lot of them are now coaches somewhere. What do you think accounts for the high number of coaches for the 96 team?
I think what happens is when you're on a team, a national program, and you have so many positive experiences with the sport and through the sport that when you step away, you miss it. I know certainly I miss competing, and I love the sport, and I love the things that it's taught me, and I know that my colleagues are the same. So although I never anticipated being a coach, when I wasn't, I missed it. And I just felt myself being drawn back to the sport, and I think that has to be the same for those women on that team. I mean, we were all so close. Crazy different personalities, but so close and so tuned into each other that it was really brilliant.
With your national team credentials and having a degree from the University of North Carolina, you could be anywhere. Yet, you've been coaching Division III for the last decade or so. How come?
Well, I fell into coaching Division III because a position opened up, and I learned about it, and it was the direction that I needed to go at that point in stage. And never having played Division III or really knowing anything about Division III, walking into that environment, I really didn't know what to expect. And then when I was there, I just embraced it. I really, really enjoy the Division III atmosphere. I think it's very healthy. I think that the wonderful things about the Division III is that if the kids want to play year-round, they can. But it's by their own choice. It's not a mandate. So you don't have burnout. And when I get my hands on those kids, they're just so excited and vibrant and ready to play. And the mentality is the same. They want to find success. They want to work hard. Maybe not as much God-given athletic talent, but the philosophies are the same. And it allows me to dabble in different arenas too. It's not just field hockey. I can do all different things within this coaching position, so it's neat.
Right. Is it one of those things where you're kind of enjoying coaching more at this level than you would be if you were even at a small Division I program such as a Liberty or even a Longwood?
I think I'm a competitor, and I don't like to lose, and I'm not going to put myself in a situation where that will happen frequently. So, I think, recognizing what universities or what programs you can find success in, and you can develop and create that is huge. So, if I would find myself in a Division I program that realistically could not create success, I would be miserable because you're spinning your wheels. So, I find that right now, this is a good fit for me. Division III is an excellent fit for me to wear all different sorts of hats, still be a mother, still be a coach, find success, create a program, and do a little bit of other things on the side. I think one of the really neat things about Stevenson is, especially with the economy that's going on right now, Stevenson is growing. I mean, they're growing. And the president of the college and the athletic directors here at the college have this vision of, first of all, job placement, an outstanding job placement rate. So that's huge on the academic realm. And then we want to be national contenders for athletics. I mean, that's the push. And that's kind of why I'm here, because that's my dream as well. We have outstanding facilities. We've got a strength and conditioning coach. We've got all these athletic trainers. We have the facilities and the people that top Division I programs have. Yet it's still Division III atmosphere. So it's a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Laurel. And thank you for joining us for this edition of Inside the Circle. Good day and good hockey.